A story begins with Yeon, a high school girl who lives in the same house with two boys, and one of them is Saha, a super popular guy on whom she secretly has a small crush, while the other boy is Kan, a basketball player, and both of them are extremely famous in the school, so ever since they were little, girls have been giving love letters to her two brothers, and because they never replied, everyone says that Yeon actually likes her brothers, and because of this, she always suffers bullying from the students who even hit her, and even though she remembers her sisters telling her to defend herself, she doesn't dare to confront the bullies. But suddenly she falls into a pond, and the whole school watches her while laughing, and Yeon, completely soaked, tells them to leave her alone, and just then Kan appears, walking through the crowd and taking off his shirt to dry her, making all the girls scream in excitement. And then Saha also comes in and puts his jacket over her, making sure she is okay, and he drags both boys by their ears while the girls burn with jealousy. Later, Saha argues with his brother, scolding him for not defending their little sister earlier, and she quickly tells them not to fight because she is happy that they protect her, but the neighbors in the town look at the two boys as pitiful kids abandoned by their mothers, which makes Saha sad. And we discover that Yeon and Saha were once neighbors, but his mother lost her mind after his sister died in an accident. So Saha was always alone, and Yeon felt bad seeing his sad face and invited him to eat, and they ended up taking him into their house because his mother abandoned him. However, the next day, her friend sees Saha entering a classroom with the school beauty, Midu, and wants to follow them. But Yeon's friend stops her and says that it seems those two are dating, and Yeon doesn't believe it, but her friend explains that the whole school knows, breaking Yeon's heart while Saha talks with Midu and discovers that she is the one who spread the rumors that they are a couple, and Saha gets annoyed, and Midu confesses that she really likes him and asks him to be her boyfriend, but he clearly says he doesn't like her, and when he leaves and greets Yeon, because of the misunderstanding, Yeon looks at him with a deep hatred that rises from inside her, and even though he chases her, she stays cold and distant, and he says she looks like a little girl crying, which makes her even more upset as she goes to her room without eating. So Saha follows her and tells her that he has no relationship with that girl and that she is actually Kan's ex-girlfriend. And then Yeon forgives him and they walk back together holding hands, making Kan suspicious that they might be more than siblings, while Midu tells Kan that they should get back together, but he refuses now and asks her not to create more problems between them. Later, Midu meets Yeon alone and Yeon thinks Kan dumped her, but Midu reveals that she dumped Kan 3 months ago and now wants to hurt him more because Saha rejected her, showing how vengeful she is, and Yeon tells her to forget about her brother. But Midu refuses, and their argument continues until the entrance of the school where Midu suddenly falls on purpose, and when the crowd gathers, she uses the moment to accuse Yeon of pushing her to the ground, screaming that Yeon is a bully, and the students start talking badly about Yeon, hurting her deeply, and Yeon's friend defends her in front of everyone, calling Midu a liar, but Midu has blood on her, making Yeon look even guiltier, and no one dares defend her until Saha arrives, standing in front of her like a knight and tells everyone to show proof of Yeon's bullying, and when no one has any, he exposes Midu, saying she is an expert at creating fake rumors. Then Kan and Yeon follow Saha home, where they celebrate his victory at school, but suddenly they find out he bought a new perfume to attract girls, and they tease him, asking if he likes someone, and he gets nervous and kicks them out of his room before he can't stop himself from wanting to kiss Yeon, and Yeon realizes that her little Saha is no longer the small boy he used to be, and now even has hair everywhere, with teenage hormones hitting him hard, and Saha begins showing her affection he never showed before, proving their relationship has changed. After that, Yeon keeps receiving love letters for her brothers, but among them, she finds a love letter for herself from a mysterious boy who says that every time he sees her, his heart beats 200 times per minute, and she gets excited because it's the first time someone calls her pretty, and she finds out the boy calls himself Mr. X. So she starts investigating and tells Saha that a boy is interested in her, and Saha pretends he doesn't care but is actually extremely jealous, yet he still walks her home, and she gives him the letters from the girls who love him. And to make her jealous, he starts reading their names loudly while she covers her ears in frustration, and she hates him so much in that moment that she tries to escape through the bus window. But he pulls her back inside, and this scary moment reminds him of the day his little sister died, giving him a sharp headache while Yeon investigates with her friend who the boy who loves her might be, spying on many boys, and she is confused why the boy left, but then finds another letter saying they should have a date tomorrow, lifting her mood instantly. And this makes Saha burn with jealousy because he hates that she is going out with a stranger who could be a psychopath. And with her friend's help, Yeon discovers that Mr. X is Junho, a very tall boy with a sweet smile and a gentle personality, and Junho admits that he was the one who wrote the letter, while Saha looks at him with pure envy. And Junho invites her to eat something together, and she happily accepts, making sure she looks pretty for her handsome crush. And during the date, she notices Junho has a strange way of eating, but she still likes him. And when they finish, he comments that since she doesn't have a mother, she must have had a sad childhood childhood and that he could never date a girl like that. And she replies that with her brothers and her parents, she is happy. And because of these different ways of thinking, she decides not to see him anymore, but his words make her believe she will never find a boyfriend who truly loves her. So her brothers cheer her up, and especially Saha, who is happy she rejected the boy and now he has a chance to be with her. The next day, the girls find out her date with Junho went badly and call her ugly. And right then, Junho arrives to apologize and hopes they can be friends, and she forgives him because he didn't tell anyone about their conversation yesterday. But Saha insists she reject any closeness with Junho and tells her to stay far from his lips. And suddenly, Saha's mother appears, the one he has not seen for years and who refused to answer his calls. So he is forced to talk to her. And his mother complains that he hasn't met his 7-year-old stepsister, and he can't believe she says this when she never cared about him because she abandoned him for 10 years. And crying, he says he hopes she never comes back because to him, she is dead since she was the worst mother in history. But she says he is a bad son. And before Saha starts yelling, Yan holds his hand and takes him somewhere peaceful, becoming his only comfort. And then memories of his sister's death won't leave his mind, making him distracted as he steps onto the road right when a car passes. And Yan sees it and pulls him to safety. And he smiles because to him, she is his guardian angel, and he is deeply thankful for her. Later, Saha finds Junho in the locker room and warns him to be careful with Yan because if he hurts her, he will take revenge. But then Junho says something that hurts Yan, something Saha cannot forgive, and together with Khan, they drag him into a room demanding he apologize. And they inform Yan, and she runs there, finding them fighting on the floor, but it's actually a misunderstanding because Khan grabbed him so he wouldn't fall, and they ended up like that. And afterward, Khan tells Junho not even to try being friends with his little sister. But Junho says that is Yan's decision, although Yan doesn't care about Junho anymore, and instead prefers the blessed eyes of Saha, whom she follows to the ends of the world, and he shows her that even if he has no mother, he can give her all the love in the world. When they arrive home, Saha finds that his mother brought his little sister so he can meet her, and Saha doesn't want to get involved with her, but his mother uses the child to get close and asks the girl to call him brother, and even asks if she looks like his dead sister, clearly manipulating him. And Saha realizes it, and knowing the child is innocent for having a terrible mother, he asks Yan to take the girl out for a walk. There, Yan learns that Saha's mother wants to take him to another city, but he prefers to stay here because he has a family that respects him, and also because he has Yan by his side, something priceless. So his mother, with nothing else to do, decides to leave, but Khan, full of envy, says Saha is too harsh with his mother, and Saha angrily says she is a witch, and at least Khan's mother didn't abandon him completely, and Khan refuses to accept this, believing his mother will return once he earns enough money to support her. But Saha tells him to accept the reality that she is gone. So Khan punches him, and a fight begins between brothers, and Yan tries to calm them, but it's their little sister who stops them from fighting. Although this leaves a wound between the three brothers, and they treat each other coldly and start a food-eating competition to see who eats faster, using any moment to humiliate each other. And since they aren't talking, Yan becomes the messenger between the brothers until she is exhausted, and suddenly Junho approaches her wanting to fix their relationship and invites her to a sky bicycle route to make her fall in love. And she sees that this route is known to turn friends into lovers, so she invites Saha, but the whole school hears that the two handsome brothers are coming, and a huge crowd of girls arrives wanting to get close to them and kiss them to their very soul. And because of this, the boys get distracted, and Junho tries to take Yan away, but the brothers stop him and forbid him from going near her lips. And in fact, they end up fighting each other just to be near Yan. And Yan is suddenly cornered by bullies from another school, and her friend quickly informs the brothers, who run to rescue her. And when she faints, they fight the bullies with sticks until the police arrive and detain them, and Yan manages to get them released, and she is so exhausted that she falls asleep. And the boys gently carry her to her room and watch over her with affection. And in her dreams, she asks if they already made peace, and they lie, pretending they are friends again. And when they go outside, they separate with disgust. But for the sake of their little sister, they agree to act as if they have reconciled. So Yan returns happily to school with her friend Dal, and the students spread rumors that Dal likes Khan because he helped in the fight. So Yan becomes a matchmaker and pushes Khan toward Dal because she wants them to date, but they catch Khan talking with his ex-girlfriend, and Khan says he only sees Dal as his sister's friend, which makes Dal sad. And Yan angrily stomps on Khan's foot, then goes to the mall with Saha to buy his birthday gift, and Saha uses the little money he has to buy Yan her favorite shoes, and when they pay, the cashier gives them for free because she thinks they are a cute couple and wants to give them a little gift. And Saha is about to say they are not a couple, but Yan stops him, pretending that they kiss every day. And just then, Saha's little sister runs from her mother to greet him and suddenly falls down the stairs, getting badly hurt. And Saha rushes to her in fear while they see she has a wound. And the mother gets angry, saying bad things always happen when Saha is around, calling him cursed. And Yan, tired of her insults, steps forward saying he brings good luck and is a very responsible boy. And after shutting the mother up, she takes Saha by the hand, remembering all the good things he has done for her and how he even defended her from bullies when they were little. And he realizes that he truly fell in love with Yan, and that when he sees her smile, he can't help wanting to touch at least just a part of her to feel the love inside him. But then they can't find his little sister anywhere, and frightened, he thinks she has been kidnapped and starts searching. And the police find her alone at a beach, and it turns out she was waiting for Saha because he is the person she loves the most. And at that moment, their mother arrives worried and blames Saha for her disappearance, and Saha, tired of being blamed for everything, screams that she is not his real family, and hurt, he walks away alone, and his brothers run after him while he remembers holding the body of his sister when she drowned, and how his mother considered him a murderer because of that. So even though Yeon waits for him at home, he leaves without saying anything and spends days alone in class. So she brings him breakfast every day and little love notes that make him smile after a long time. After night classes, he discovers a heavy rain, and since there are no umbrellas left, he runs home soaked. And Yeon was waiting to protect him, and she lets him inside, but he collapses from a fever, and they both take turns caring for him. But his pain does not come from the fever, but from the guilt he feels for his sister's death, which is slowly killing him inside. So his father takes him to his sister's grave where he pays his respects, and his father tells him to let the guilt go, and crying Saha says he will graduate to make his sister proud. Later, they all go to the beach to have fun, and Saha realizes that when he looks at Yeon, he feels a spark in his heart, and to make it worse, they end up alone. So he teases her just to get her attention, and then she climbs to a high place that seems dangerous to him, so he holds her hand to watch over her, making his love for her grow even more. But suddenly Yeon slips and Saha catches her, protecting her from hitting the ground, leaving them very close. And completely in love, he plans to confess his feelings, but she stands up first, saying she is not stupid and will not become another one of his conquests that he throws away like trash. And Saha says he would never do that, and because they talk so much, they miss the bus and walk home without knowing what to say, and they meet their friend Ji, who acts as a shield between their feelings. But these emotions cannot be held for long, and when she enters his room, he tries to push her out, and she fights to stay, but he closes the door with force because it is hard to hold himself back from kissing her. And she goes to talk to Khan, sad because she thinks Saha doesn't love her, and Khan tells her Saha is stressed because of exams. So she writes a wish card asking for Saha to succeed, while he is unable to study because she keeps appearing in his mind and he fears getting bad grades. On exam day, Yeon gives him chocolates to stay strong, and thanks to her, Saha feels confident and easily finishes the test, unlike Khan, who struggles. And after that, they both go to a party Yeon organized to bring Kan and Dal together. And Saha also uses the chance to try to charm Yeon, who burns her hand on the barbecue, scaring Saha. And even though it is a tiny wound, he takes her to the kitchen to put cream on it gently, while Khan says it is nothing and doesn't understand why Saha is so worried. And Dal discovers that Saha loves Yeon intensely, and we see Yeon getting lost in Saha's eyes as he treats her injury. And she tells him to delay the barbecue so Khan and Dal can confess their feelings, but he refuses. And she misunderstands this as cruel behavior, not noticing he is holding her hand, and this sends a wave of love through him because for Saha, it is hard being alone with her, and he fears that confessing his love might change their relationship. Then his teacher, impressed by his grades, offers him a place at a university in another city, and he thinks it is good, except it means separating from Yeon, the love of his life. And meanwhile, Yeon is watching a basketball game where Khan is playing, and she has to endure sitting next to Junho, but she ignores him, and Saha arrives, pushing Junho aside to sit with Yeon, and Junho complains there is no space, and Saha shuts him up, telling him to leave, and Khan scores the winning point, and Saha sees that Khan's father watched the game and tries to catch up to him, but the father speeds away in his car and goes home to speak with Khan's stepfather, offering money in exchange for taking his son, because Khan's father is a millionaire but has no heir to give his fortune to, and he is willing to take Khan to a prestigious university, but the stepfather says love cannot be bought with money, and they argue until he kicks the father out. And meanwhile, Saha and Yeon go on a date, enjoying each other's company as she looks into his favorite eyes. And then Saha receives a call saying that his mother's family had a terrible car accident, and he learns that his mother's husband died instantly. So he rushes to the hospital and discovers his mother survived thanks to surgery, but is now in a coma in critical condition. And then his little sister arrives wanting to see their mother, and they hide from her how bad things are and pretend she is on vacation. But the girl has nowhere to stay, and the nanny tries to take her, but she insists she wants to stay with her beloved brother, so Saha agrees to take her home. Before leaving, he sneaks into his mother's room and sees how bad she is, and remembering all their terrible fights fills him with deep sadness. And then Saha gets calls from Yeon, and the little girl asks who keeps calling, and the girl says she hopes Yeon will become her sister-in-law. And because of this, Yeon goes to the hospital and sees Saha sad in a chair, and she wants to run to comfort him, but she sees his little sister sitting, excited to hug Saha because their mother woke up from the coma. And seeing this, Yeon freezes, realizing how fragile her place is in his life because that little girl is his real sister. And jealousy fills her heart, while Saha, during the visit, sees his mother crawling on the floor, and she starts screaming about her dead daughter and how now her wonderful husband also died, and she believes she is cursed for abandoning her child. And Saha explains it was just an accident and that it is a miracle she is alive, but she calls him cursed again and says she prefers dying to living like this. And she completely loses her mind, forcing him to leave the room and keep his little sister away because their mother's mind is broken. broken and he cannot let the girl see her, so he dedicates himself to taking care of his little sister, celebrating her birthday, and spending the best time together. After this, he returns home where Yeon runs down to hug him, and when she touches Saha, her whole body vibrates with emotion, and she is happy to see him and even carries his luggage so he will not leave again. And he spends wonderful days because Yeon treats him like a prince, and he realizes that far from her his life becomes worse. But one day, Yeon's father collapses, scaring them all, and they take him to the hospital where the doctor says it is from overwork since his children are growing up and he fears they will leave the house. And then Khan has to confess something important to his brother and says he decided to leave with his biological father to another city. And Saha opposes his decision, telling him to think of their stepfather. But Khan is determined, causing a huge argument heard by the whole neighborhood. Then Yeon discovers that Saha is also leaving for another university and is going to abandon her. And she feels deeply hurt and accuses him of caring only about his other sister and not the family that raised him for years, and she leaves heartbroken. And in class, her friends notice how sad she is, and Midu uses the chance to get closer to Saha and insist on becoming his girlfriend since they still have time to kiss. But he slams his locker shut when she mentions Yeon and warns her never to say Yeon's name again. And he walks alone down the hallway where he fights again with Khan until they learn Yeon is missing. And he finds her alone in a pastry shop where she says her life was always sad until Saha and Khan entered it, that thanks to them and a light grew inside her heart, and with them, she felt the happiness of a real family. And he tells her that even if he leaves, his spirit will stay with her and promises he will return. And then they spend years apart without losing contact and even celebrate birthdays through video calls. And she keeps checking that Saha does not get a girlfriend while he sends spies to make sure no boy gets close to Yeon. Because after some years, Yeon grows into an even more beautiful woman and has to push away guys constantly. Though she still waits for her beloved Saha, she now owns a pastry shop, and suddenly a hooded man enters and she hears a noise and goes to check. But the man hides. And while she searches every corner, he accidentally knocks down a glass, revealing his position. And when he tries to run, he slips on a cherry, so she takes the chance to trip him and grabs him by the neck, trying to pull off his hood, and they wrestle until she angrily drags the thief to the police station where he refuses to remove his hood, and her father, ignoring the police, fights him. And they discover the thief is Kan, who is desperately seeking affection from his parents. And the family worries that their reunion happened under such circumstances. Meanwhile, Saha returns to the city and seeing Yeon's shop in a mess, fears something happened to his beloved. Then the police call him, and when he meets Yeon, their souls connect in a higher state of love where they are alone in the world because an unbreakable bond ties them. But Yeon stays distant, expressing her anger, and her father tells her not to treat her brothers like strangers, but she carries resentment from the long absence. And Saha says he called her for years and she rejected his calls, while Khan explains he was in the army, lost his phone, and returned a few days ago but didn't approach the house because he feels like a failure. Then they meet at home like when they were kids, and suddenly she notices a mysterious scar on Saha's hand which he hides quickly, and the brothers say they want to stay in the house for a few years, but Yeon says no one allowed them to stay, showing her heart is still broken. So the brothers follow her begging for forgiveness. Saha confesses he missed her all those years and truly felt the absence of her curves, but she is not impressed and says she and her father were alone and she won't forgive their abandonment. So she sadly returns to the house she shares with Dal, and upon stepping outside, she discovers Saha and Khan are her neighbors, with Khan shirtless, making them blush. Then we learn Saha is now an important doctor at the hospital and admired by his colleagues, and he works with Midu, the girl who once loved him, but he is still in love with Yeon. So he buys 2 ice creams to meet her, and when she lifts her hair, he remembers how he loved her before, and thanks to his kindness, he slowly enters Yeon's heart, who hates him less each day, though still pretends to be angry, so he keeps paying attention to her. Then Khan confesses he quit basketball because of an injury, and his father immediately lifts his pants leg, revealing a huge scar on his ankle, and Yeon is upset that he hid it, and they all promise never to keep secrets again. So Saha admits the scratches on his arm were made by his mother when she tried to return to the city, and Saha realizes he did all of this to be near Yeon, and that all his sacrifices are to become her boyfriend. Then he decides to confess his feelings and bravely says he likes her, and hearing this, she replies that many girls like him, but he says it's true. His heart danced around other women, but now there is only one girl he truly loves, and that is Yeon, who leaves speechless to think, and he asks her to give him a chance to prove he has changed and can be a good boyfriend. From then on, he visits her every day, bringing gifts and reminding her he loves her with all his soul, and later she goes to the hospital for hand pain, and the doctor treating her is Saha, who puts her hand in cold water and gives her special care, and unexpectedly whispers in her ear, making her unable to stop thinking about him. And when she sees him laughing with Midu in public, jealousy floods her entire body, and she can't bear this pain anymore and fakes being sick, making Saha rush to her, and they run under the rain until they shelter in a tunnel where he sees her soaked and full of love. He touches her face and says her name over and over, and she freezes completely while he leans towards her lips and finally gives her a deep, wet kiss he has dreamed of for years. And after their lips separate, he tells her that even though they grew up together, he no longer wants her to be his little sister, but to be his girlfriend. And luckily, they have no blood relation, so they believe her father won't stop their relationship. relationship, although they don't dare tell him because he has a weak heart and they don't want to scare him. So they begin a secret romance, and he tells her he will visit her at the pastry shop. So she puts on lipstick to look beautiful, and suddenly their friends appear at the window saying they look like a couple, and she quickly replies that they are just siblings and that it's silly because they studied together, but their friends keep suspecting. So she steps away and asks Saha to keep their relationship a secret, which is very hard for him. And though he agrees to pretend, he makes it very obvious in public because he can't contain himself when he sees her beautiful smile. But his happiness doesn't last long because his mother calls and he gathers courage to meet her. And she is still angry at him, blaming him for her misfortunes. And he tells her he now has a girl who understands him and he doesn't need anything from her. And even though she yells and hits him, nothing hurts him anymore, and she loses the power she once had over him. Later, Khan and Saha host a party at their place, and when Yeon enters, she sees everything messy. But Khan refuses to wake up, and Saha pushes her toward Khan, making their lips collide in a sweet kiss. And they try to kiss everywhere, but Khan is always in the middle, enjoying annoying them. And one day, it seems Khan is not home. So they enter the house and start kissing passionately. But Khan was inside and drops his beer in shock when he sees them. Then he jumps to fight Saha because he is not happy at all, and orders him to stay away from his sister, believing he is taking advantage of her. And Yeon says they have been in a relationship for a long time and confesses she loves him. And Khan thinks she hit her head, but Saha confirms they are in love and that their love has been growing all their lives. And now they can't stop themselves when they are together. So Khan leaves, and they try to continue their love, but without Khan's approval, they don't feel comfortable. So they arrange a meeting with him to explain that they will keep loving each other and ask him to accept their relationship. And Khan has no choice but to accept because they are still his siblings, but he makes the condition that they never kiss in front of him. And they agree, even though it's very hard and they must fight their feelings to stop kissing near him. Then Khan also wants a girlfriend, and Dal appears in his life, and they become close friends who talk all the time, catching him off guard. And Dal says she still likes him and notices everyone staring. So she blushes, and Khan remembers that in every look, every moment of his happy life, Dal was always by his side, being his infinite light that brightened his nights of sadness, and he realizes he likes her too. The next day, he tells Dal they need to talk, but she tries to escape, saying she has an important meeting. Yet he stops her before she gets in a taxi, proving he wants to talk, and little by little they confess their secrets. And Khan is impressed by Dal's honest personality, while she feels shy around him. And one day he looks at her and accepts that he loves her. So in front of everyone, he tells her he likes her, and Dal says she also likes him. Not only now, but since the first moment she saw him in school. So Yeon and Saha are happy their friends finally confessed. And now Yeon and Saha want to take the next step in their own relationship. So they meet alone at home, and Saha starts eating and ends up sucking spaghetti from Yeon's mouth, making the moment hotter than a summer oven, and someone interrupts them, so they hide. And then they tell their parents they are in a relationship, but one of the parents does not approve, making them upset. And Saha convinces his father as long as he promises to respect Yeon, treat her with kindness, and give her love even on the worst days because she deserves it. And Saha promises with his soul, and he gives the news to his girlfriend, filling her with immense joy. After that, the brothers keep living next to their girlfriends and see them every day, taking every chance to go on dates and give endless love. And then comes a surprise because Yeon's father falls in love with Khan's mother, who was in prison for years and returned asking her son for forgiveness for not raising him. And Khan is emotional to have his mother back, and they organize a wedding. And then Yeon and Saha decide to make love in the middle of the wedding, giving themselves completely to each other. And Khan walks in on them, but doesn't care, saying they are the best couple in the universe because even though the three grew up without mothers, they always had each other. Because love is finding the person who completes your soul and makes every laugh, every tear, every joy, and every second in this life worth it. And well, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video.